Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Power Chat. Hey, Dorleen, how are you this morning? Good to see you. I hope all is well with you. Good to see you. I hope you feel better too. Sorry about your I think you said your leg, your knee, you fell. I hope you get well soon. So sorry to hear that. I'm sure that's not a good feeling at all. Hey, Tangela, good to see you. How are you this afternoon? Welcome to the Power Chat. Good to see you. Good to see you. We usually start around 12 o'clock, so I'm going to give it about 2, 3 minutes if others want to join in. And so, welcome to the Power Chat. Welcome to the Power Chat. We got to catch up, Tangela. I haven't seen you in a while. You're welcome, Darlene. You're so welcome. So, the topic that we're going to be talking about, and I won't be on that long, but the topic that I'm discussing today is discerning the right voices. I want to talk about discerning the right voices. And let me just do the introduction for the ones that don't know, or for the ones that's will watch the replay. Basically, this is a weekly broadcast. This is the Power Chat. Um, unless I have something else going on, I come on weekly broadcast. And what I do is I come on to share wisdom nuggets, insights, motivation, inspiration from various concepts, topics, principles out of my books. Growing on Purpose, Next Level Living. So I take principles and concepts and truths out of these books. And what I do is I expound on those topics. And my hope and my prayer every week that I come on is that I leave you empowered, inspired, maybe you just needed motivation that day. Spiritually revived. Maybe you just need to be spiritually revived, but hopefully you leave with more insightful, a little bit more wisdom or empowered or inspired in some type of way. That is my hope and that is my prayer. That I'm adding to your life. I'm adding to what you're doing. And hopefully you're already on a journey, a path of I don't know, purpose, self-discovery, finding identity. Maybe you're on a path of growing, self development, personal growth, starting a business, moving forward in a vision, whatever it is, expanding your family, ministry, whatever it is, whatever your endeavor, whatever you're moving forward in. Hopefully, this power chat adds to that. I'm here to add fuel to your fire, and I'm hoping that you already have a fire start. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So we're talking about discerning the right voices. Let's talk about discerning the right voices. And I wanted to talk about this because the voices that we allow into our lives influence the trajectory of our lives. Those voices influence the direction, the trajectory of our lives. So I want to talk about who are the chief voices in your life. I want you to think about that. Who are the chief voices in your life? Who do you listen to? Who do you give access to? Because we have to really be discerning and selective about the voices that we give our ears to. the voices that we allow to influence our life. Because remember, and I'll get to that later, but they're influencing more than just our lives. But the voices that we allow to speak into our lives, the voices that we're giving our ears to, the voices that we're allowing to influence our life, to guide our lives. Who are those voices? You know, do you pay attention to the voices that you're giving your ear to? Because remember, your ears is a gate, and that's a gate into your soul. And so when you give your ear to certain voices, hey, Bishop Cooper, good to see you. When you give your ear to certain voices, that's a gateway into your soul. And so those are seeds that are being planted in your soul, which is influencing your decisions, your attitude, your life. And so who are the chief voices in your life? I believe, for one, that the voices that we take heed to, the voices that we regard, should be voices that are divinely connected or attached, that serve some type of purpose in your life. Why is that voice in your life? What is the purpose of this relationship? Even if it's just a relationship to encourage, to inspire, for me to give you wisdom, you to give me wisdom, whatever, but there should be some type of purpose to this relationship. Otherwise, you could be the wrong influence. So let me identify what is the purpose of this relationship. And so these should be purposeful voices, purposeful relationships. I want to take heed and regard purposeful voices. So are the voices in your life, are they purposeful voices? Are they divine connections or attachments that serve some type of purpose in your life? You want to be divinely connected. So it's about purposeful voices, because otherwise the wrong voices become stumbling blocks that delay growth, that delay development. We're talking about stumbling blocks that interfere with progress, purpose, and elevation. And we really don't have time for that. I don't know about you, but I don't have time for that. And so if we don't identify and take inventory of the voices that we take heed to, the voices that we regard, then it can be the wrong voice. And we don't even realize that our life is being delayed, that it's interfering with our progress, our elevation. And we're like, why am I not growing? Why am I not elevating? You know, I don't seem to see any progress. So let me identify and take heed to the voices that I'm listening to, the voices that I'm allowing to speak into my soul. See, the word says you walk with the wise and you become wise, but a companion of fools suffer harm. The word says we walk with the wise and we become wise, but a companion of fools suffer harm. So in other words, when I lend my ears to the wise, when I walk with the wise, when I'm listening to the wise, when I'm engaging with the wise, when I'm following the instructions of the wise, then I become wise. I make wise choices and decisions. My life is on a good trajectory. It's going in a good direction. But when I choose to keep company with people that are rash, that are ruthless, or people that are irresponsible, then guess what? My life begins to steer in the wrong direction. People that are reckless, rash, or irresponsible. When I lend my ears to that, when I give my soul up to that, because remember, your ears is a gate into your soul. And so when you lend your ears to certain voices, those are voices, and that's influence that's going into that's influencing your soul, which in turn influences your life. And so the Bible says, I walk with the wise, I become wise. But if I keep company with reckless and rash or irresponsible people, then I'm about to decline. My life is about to regress. I'm about to go down. My life is begin to steer in the wrong direction. I'm about to change the trajectory of my life. I'm no longer going down the path to purpose and destiny because I've just allowed something to delay me and take me off course. Who are the voices in your life? Because you got to remember, you're not just being influenced. Your life is not the only life. Let me say it like that. Your life is not the only life that's being influenced by these voices that you take heed to. The people that influence you, the voices that you allow to speak into your life, you got to remember that you turn around and you're influencing somebody. So you influencing your kids, your nieces and nephews, your community, your job, or somebody else's kids or youth or young adult. And so those influences that you're receiving from those voices, you're turning around and you're influencing the next generation. You're influencing other people, other kids, your nieces, your nephews, your family members. So that's why it's vital that we take heed and we regard the right voices, that we're listening to the right voices because they're influencing my life. And my life is influencing another life. And I'm influencing generations to come. This thing has a domino effect. We're talking about generational. That's how important it is and vital that you take heed to the right voices. You walk with the wise, you become wise. You listen to the wise, you become wise. So you have to be intentional about the voices you allow to speak into your life, intentional about who you allow to have access to your life. You have to be intentional about who you allow to sow seeds in your soul. You lending your ears to somebody and those voices and words going into your soul. And now it's helping you build a life and you are influencing other people. So it's vital that you're intentional about the seeds that's being sown in the garden of your heart and your mind, because your heart and your mind is like a garden. And every word that comes, every influence and voice that speaks into your life or that you're listening to, the books you're reading, because the books that you read are voices. That's somebody's voice. There's somebody's mindset in that book that you're reading. That's a voice. And so you have to be mindful. This is the garden. My heart is a garden. My mind is a garden. And so I'm allowing seeds to be planted in my garden. And then guess what? Fruit has to come up. And so I want the right seeds to be planted. But in order for the right seeds to be planted, I got to make sure I'm taking in the right stuff, that I'm taking in the right messages, that I'm taking in truth. I have to make sure that I'm taking heed to the right voices. Hey, sis. Hey, Nadia. Good to see you, baby. Yes, that I'm taking in the right voices. What's being planted in your heart? What's being planted in your mind? Remember, those voices are influencing your thinking. You may not realize it, but them voices are influencing your thinking. They're influencing your thinking, which in turn is influencing your decision making, which in turn is shaping and building your life, because decisions determine destiny. Decisions determine your destiny. So the voices that I'm listening to, the people that say, let me give you my opinion, let me advise you. See, I cannot be casual about who I allow to advise me and counsel me and speak into my life and give me their opinion. I can't be casual about who I give access to my ears and access to my heart and my soul. My soul can't just allow anybody to have access to it. And so I cannot be casual about who I allow to give me wisdom and to give me some good counsel. I can't be casual about that. Who's consulting me? Who's directing me, giving me directives? I can't be casual about that. I have to be intentional because they're shaping my thinking. They're influencing my thinking. And you don't know it, but eventually you begin to think like them, talk like them, walk like them, because the Bible says bad company corrupts good character. I don't care how great your character is. If you're consistently involved and engaged or influenced by the wrong character of people, by the bad company, the wrong company, people with unwise voices, if you're constantly being surrounded by that, if that's your environment, if you're positioning yourself in that, I don't care how great your character is, at some point, your character is going to be tainted. Your character will be corrupted. Bad company corrupts good character. That's a spiritual truth. So your thinking is being influenced. Your decision making is influenced. Now you're building and shaping a life, because every decision you make is either elevating you in destiny or moving you away from destiny. The decisions you are making is elevating you in destiny or moving you away from destiny. So you got to choose wisely. You know that word in the Bible that says, if the blind lead the blind, we both falling into a ditch. So I got somebody that's advising me and telling me, you guiding me, but you don't know where you're going. So it's the blind leading the blind. No shade, no offense, but if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to guide and direct me on where I should go or what I need to be doing or what you think? The Bible says if the blind lead the blind, and we about to fall into a ditch. So I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm blind, I don't know, but I'm asking you for advice. So we both about to be in the ditch. You're not sure about it, I'm not sure about it. So now we're about to be led astray. The blind leading the blind. Where is the fruit? Because if I don't see fruit in your life, then at some point I'm gonna say, okay, do you even know what you're talking about? Why are you not operating in this truth? Why are you not walking in this truth that you're advising me on, that you're giving me counsel on? Why you're not operating in this truth? Do I see fruit? Because if I see fruit, I know the root. Do I see fruit? Because if I don't see fruit now, I'm about to feel like you're the blind leading, trying to lead the blind. Because I don't know something and I'm asking you, but there's no fruit. So we need to really be careful who we ask. We're talking about voices, and even check yourself. Are you a good voice for somebody? Or are you the right voice for other people's lives? Are you the right voice? Do you have the fruit that you're advising others on? Do you have the fruit in your life? And know that God will position the right people in your path to be that He wants to connect you and attach you to, but you have to look through spiritual lenses. You got to be able to discern who they are. That one right there, I've been caught up in this one. You got to be able to discern the people that God puts in your path, that He positions in your path to be a voice in your life. Because the voices that God positions in your path, they're going to influence you. I mean, they're going to correct you. They're going to guide you, lead you, motivate you, inspire you. But let's not forget about the correcting part. Because if you have somebody in your life that see you in error, they see you treating people a certain type of way, they see you that you're going down the wrong road and they say nothing, they don't try to correct you, they say nothing, that's not a good voice. That's not the right influence. That's not a friend. They may be a follower or a fan, but they're not a friend. If you see me in error, you see this train is about to wreck, you see that I'm going opposite of my calling, that I'm not following my destiny or my divine purpose or my divine prophetic destiny, and you see me going astray and you don't say nothing, you're not a friend. You're a follower or a fan, but you're not a friend, and you're not the right voice in my life. So the right voices that God positions in our path, yes, they'll guide us, they'll lead us, yes, they'll give us wisdom, they'll inspire us, they'll motivate us, but they also will correct us. But they have to be spiritually discerned. You have to be willing to look at it through your spiritual eye. You got to look through your spiritual lenses and not just your physical eye. I've been guilty of that, looking through your natural eye. Let me give you this word. Let me give you an example why you got to look through your spiritual eye. There's a word in the Bible that says, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has imagined the things that God has prepared for those that love Him. It says, but then it goes on to say, but God has revealed it to us by His Spirit. No eye has seen, no mind has imagined the things that God has prepared for us, but it's revealed to us, the word says, by His Spirit. So guess what? The Spirit is going to reveal them to me. They will be revealed to us by His Spirit. You got to look at people through your spiritual eye. That's why Paul said in the Bible, I regard no man after the flesh. I'm not looking at flesh. I regard no man after the flesh. I want to see with my spiritual eyes. I'm trying to see through my spiritual lenses, because the Spirit of truth that's in you, the Spirit of God that's in you, He's the Spirit of truth, and He knows all things. And He's going to show you who's for you, who's the right voice for your life. But you got to be sensitive to His voice. You got to be sensitive to the truth. You have to be sensitive to that unction and that prompting that's on the inside of you. He's speaking through your gut. He's speaking through your conscience. You got to be in tune and sensitive to the Spirit of truth that's in you. And one of the reasons it's important or imperative that we see them through our spiritual eye, because it may be somebody that you don't prefer. It may be somebody you don't prefer. See, that's why you got to be looking at people through your spiritual eye. You got to be looking at people through, you got to discern by the Spirit. Because what if it's somebody that you don't prefer? You don't want to be connected or attached to them. You don't want that voice in your life, but God wants that voice in your life. He knows that they're the right influence for where you're going. They're the right people. They're the right voices for where you're going. You got to see beyond what you see. It's a greater purpose. And you got to always keep that in mind. There's a greater purpose. You got to fight flesh, feelings, and all of that. Well, I don't know if I really like them. It's not about your feelings. It's not about your emotions. It's not about what you like. It's about what you need. And these may be the very people that God has sent to attach to you to help you, and you help them in some type of way, two-way street, to fulfill purpose and to walk in divine destiny, to do what he needs you to do, maybe just for a season, maybe for a lifetime. So you cannot look at the natural eye. You got to see beyond what you see. Because let's be honest about it. Sometimes we often prefer people that we feel like are successful. Are they successful according to divine success? That we think that's popular, people that we think that's in high demand, that's impressive. Yeah, it sounds good, you know, exquisite, and you got the right words and all of that. But you sound good, but you're not the right voice. See, we prefer that sometimes. We're looking at the outer appearance. Yes, Sister Cheryl, discernment. Because we do that, they popular. So we prefer the popular people, the successful people, the people that got status, that has impressive position. But that may not be the person that God wants for you. They may not be right for you, the right fit for you, the right voice for you. They may not have your spiritual DNA. I'm telling you this thing, you can't, anybody can advise you. Anybody can speak into your life. And they may not be bad. I'm not saying they bad or wrong people, even though you have some wrong people, but they may not be bad or wrong, but they're just not fitting for your life. They don't have your spiritual DNA. They just don't have it. And where you're going, you need a certain type of voice. You need a certain type of voice. You need a person with a certain type of skill or a certain type of mindset. And God already knows who that is. So we got to put feelings and all of that aside, and we got to begin to discern that thing in the spirit. Are they the right fit for me? Because this is what I want, but God knows what I need to fulfill purpose and to walk out and move forward in destiny. Stop considering the outer appearance. In other words, stop considering the outer appearance. Stop, get off the surface level. No more surface level. It's time to go deeper. Concentrate on the inner man. Can you see that inner man? Look at the heart of a man. Because the word says God looks at the inner man. The word says we look at the outside. We look at the outer appearance, but God looks at the heart. We're looking at the outer shape. We're looking at the package. I don't like the package. I don't like the way they look. And you missing destiny. And you missing destiny. I don't like what they look, the package. You're looking at the outer shell, the outer appearance. But God says, I look at the heart. We need to model what God is doing. God said he look at the heart. We need to model that. That's the wisdom that we need to be following. Let me see the inner man. As Paul said, I regard no man after the flesh. I don't want to regard you after the flesh. I'm trying to look at your spirit. I'm trying to see your spirit. I want to see with the spiritual eye. Because see, the right voice and the right person can be right in front of you, but you don't even discern it because you're looking at the package. You're looking at the outer shell, and you can't even discern the right voice and the right person is in front of you, but you can't discern it because you're looking at the package. Can I tell you something? The package can't help you. The outer shell can't help you. The flesh can't help you. You got to go deeper. It's what's on the inside of the people that can help you. It's the content. What Martin Luther King said, the content of the character. You looking on the outside, color and this and that. The content. The package can't help me. I need what's inside the package. That's why you got to go deeper in your sin. That's why you got to say, God, help me to see with my spiritual eye. Because the package can't help me. I need what's on the inside of it. See, what's on the inside of it is what's about to bless my life. What's on the inside of me is about to bless your life. Don't regard me after this. Don't look at this. Because there's some days I may have the wrong attitude and I have to repent. So don't look at this. Hopefully, most majority of the time, I'm walking in the ways of God, but we all have moments. Our humanity kicks in at times. So you can't regard the flesh. But what's in me can help you. What's in them can help you. What's in them is the key to your next level. They are the key to your elevation. The wrong voices will take you off course, change the trajectory of your life. And also you want to pay attention to the consistency of their life. Again, I told you before, does the life match the message? Pay attention to the consistency of their life. Is there fruit? Is there fruit? Me and my sis was talking about this the other day. Where is the fruit? Do I see fruit? So you got to pay attention to the consistency. If you're telling me some and you're giving me some advice in this and I don't see no fruit, okay, the blind leading the blind. I'm about to be in the ditch somewhere. Where is the fruit? So pay attention to the consistency of their lives. Do they have the right intentions? Do they have pure motives? I'm not talking about perfection, because you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. There's no perfect people. I'm talking about, do they have good intentions? Do they have pure motives? And again, you got to check yourself. Check your motive. Do you have the right motives? Because I told you, sometimes we prefer people that we want, that we feel like successful and high demand, popular. Check your heart. Why do I want to attach to them? Why do I want to connect with them? Do I see them after the spirit? Is they somebody that's tied to my destiny? I'm tied to their destiny. Why do I want to attach? Check your own motives, because sometimes we can have hidden agendas and ulterior motives. So check your heart and check your own motive. Exercise wisdom. And as I close, be intentional about who you allow to speak into your life, who's speaking into your soul. Be intentional about that. Who you allow to attach to you, because remember, they influencing you, and you're turning around and influencing your kids. You're influencing your nieces and nephews. You're influencing other people's kids and other family members. And you want to also maintain a teachable heart. Keep a teachable spirit. How can you grow, learn, and elevate if you're not teachable? How can you grow, learn, and elevate if you don't have a teachable heart, a teachable spirit? You got to be willing to receive correction. And you may be upset and it may hurt your feelings. Go get over it, pray about it, and say, okay, but they saying right. What they saying is right. What they saying is about to move me into destiny. Keep another step, another level. What they're saying about my attitude is right. What they're saying about my outlook is right. What they're saying about this, you know what, it's truth. I know it because it agrees with my spirit, but my flesh don't like it. I don't like what they're saying. But you know what? They're telling the truth. I know they're telling the truth. So you got to be willing to receive correction and instruction. I think we've all been there. We rebelled against it. I don't really want to hear that. Yeah, but that's what we need to hear. Or we're about to stay stuck. We're about to remain stuck. And so be willing to receive correction and instruction from the individuals that you know God has placed in your path. You know they have your right. You know they have your best interest in mind. They have the heart for you. Now, I'm not talking about people that don't have your best interest in mind with ulterior motives and hidden agendas. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people you know that God has positioned in your path, people you know they have the right heart, they have the best interest in you, but maybe they don't act like you want them to act, and maybe they don't respond to you like you want them to respond. That has nothing to do with it, because the enemy will use that right there to get you out of destiny and purpose, to destroy a relationship, to destroy a divine connection, to destroy a divine contact. He will use that right there. He'll offend you. I don't like how they responded. I don't like how they looked at me. Well, they seemed like they was a little bossy about it. If you know God positioned them people in your path, don't allow the enemy to bring you into offense, because offense have destroyed many relationships. Offense has destroyed many purposes and destiny. Don't get caught in the offense trap. Don't take the bait. If you know they have your best interest in mind, go ahead and receive that instruction. Have a teachable heart. The truth will offend you to grow you. I had to learn that the truth will offend you to grow you. It'll offend you, and then you're going to grow, you're going to develop. God will offend you to move you. God has offended me. My thinking has been offended so many times. God will offend you to move you. The truth will offend you to grow you. And it's okay, because if it's moving me, I don't care anymore. I'm glad I've kind of graduated a little. I still got a ways to go, but I don't. If I'm offended in the moment, I let it roll off. If I know it's taking me higher, they just trying to help you to come up. Come on up a little higher. Rise up a little higher. That's all. And if I know that's their intentions, or you know that's my intentions for you, then you know what? I'm going to receive this. I'm going to receive. I may cringe, but I'm going to receive this. I'm going to keep a teachable heart. I'm going to maintain an open heart to receive, so that I can move on in destiny, so that I can go ahead and learn and grow and elevate and see fruit in my life. The truth will offend you to grow you. So keep a teachable heart. The word says if you accept instruction and correction, you become wise. I'm going to leave you with that. The word says when we accept correction and instruction, we become wise. Proverbs also says when we accept discipline and we listen to correction, you'll be wise all the rest of your days. I don't know about you, but I'm trying to be wise the rest of my days. Proverbs says if you listen to counsel and accept discipline, you will be wise the rest of your days. If somebody's trying to give you counsel and discipline that you know is rooted in wisdom, I need to receive it. You need to receive it, because guess what? I'm talking about being wise the rest of your days. So then you can turn around and you can impart that same wisdom into your kids and your nieces and nephews and your family. so that you can help generations to come. Because again, it's not just about you. You got to think generational. God is moving. God is not, He's concerned about you, but it's bigger than you. There's a greater purpose. We're all connected to something greater. We're talking about generations to come that's advancing and moving forward in the kingdom, that's coming and elevating and having character and integrity. We're talking about generations to come, generational blessings. I'm tired of generational curses. We're talking about generational blessings. So it's not just about you. If I rebel, if I don't listen, I don't follow instruction, if I don't receive that voice, if I don't elevate, I'm affecting other generations. Because what am I teaching them? So this thing is bigger than you. We're talking about generations to come. So it's beneficial that you have the right voices in your life. It's beneficial that you remain with a teachable heart, that you maintain a teachable heart and a teachable spirit. It's beneficial to you. It's beneficial to you. It is. And so if you don't get anything else out this message, number one, be intentional. Who you allow access to your soul. Because when you allow them access to your life, they have access to your soul. So be intentional about the voices you lend your ears to. That's a gate that's going to your soul. That's a gate that's going to your soul. Those are seeds that are being planted. Guard your heart, because out of your heart flows the issues of life. Where did that issue come from? It came from the seeds that you allowed to be planted in your heart. What voices are you listening to? Regard no man after the flesh. Start looking at people by the spirit and say, you know what? I think God maybe want me to connect with them, attach with them. You got to look past all of that. And you got to look at them by the spirit. Because that's your next level right there. And you looking at the package. And God said, you're not seeing the content. You're not seeing the content that's about to bless your life. I've been blessed by this. I hope you were blessed. I hope you were blessed. Again, my books, tamikaford.com. I'm going to pray for you. Concepts, principles, truths. I get them out of my books. I hope this word was a blessing to you. If it blessed you, share it with somebody. But yeah, be intentional about the voices. Get the right voices in your life so that you can elevate, so that you continue to climb and rise up. Lord, I thank you for the individuals that's on this chat, this live today. God, I ask that you help each and every one of us to use our discernment, to be led by the Spirit of God that's on the inside of us, to listen to our spirit, to listen and discern who are the voices for our life. Who do we need to regard? Who do we need to take heed to? Show us the right voices. Some of us are looking for other voices. We need other voices in our life. We want wisdom. We want counsel. We want advice. Don't allow us to be stuck in fear because we're scared it's not the right voice. Help us see them spiritually, to not regard them after the flesh. Show us the voices that needs to be an influence in our lives. Help us to make the right decision. I pray for every soul on here that you position the voices in their lives and that they discern them. They discern those voices, and those voices begin to impart to them and help them as they are a voice to somebody else's life. That we're influencing and impacting generation after generation. God, I continue blessings over their life, their families. May the God bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you. May his favor be upon your life. And may his peace be with you. I love you. And hey, this the shirt, Impact Lives. This is Dr. Marvin Rainey. We're impacting lives. I forgot to talk about the shirt. But yeah, that's what it's all about, impacting lives. Be a good voice, a great voice, the right voice in somebody's life. I love you. Bye.